Good morning, good evening, good night. Hello, my males, females, kings, queers, queens, and everything in between. If you can't tell, I'm still half asleep. I thought I had an appointment today, but it's not written down anywhere that I can see. But I have a feeling someone's gonna pick me up at 12 o'clock. So I think I'm seeing a cardiologist. I'm not entirely sure. But the lineup today consists of getting some cardio in. I walked a block this morning, but I want to be able to walk 2 blocks without my cane. I'll bring it just in case, but I really don't like having to use it. Um, my roommate's being awesome and making coffee, and I can smell it, and it smells so good. I am going to give us a little ring a ding ding before I officially start.
All right, Drea, your cup's right here by the oven mitt.
Yeah.
You can do with it whatever you wish.
Thank you. I love letting the bowl just like resonate, but I always feel like I need to touch it. So today I kind of wanted to touch on something like touchy. I'm still wearing my dog's leash. So before I get into the nitty gritty, I really love this leash. Not only because it's attached to my body and she can go wherever the hell, but it's also a bungee cord. So when she pulls, there's not a lot of tension on my stomach or back. Also, I can take the clip off, la-di-da-di, and just use it like a regular leash. And also, clicky clack. This side goes on her collar, and I can hold her right by the collar. And it's a great height for my hand to just like, I can be like this, or I can just let it down. She's fighting with her cousin right now. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about was the issues that I've been having with these compulsions to micromanage, and the fact that I'm obsessing over every little thing when I really shouldn't be, and I should be relaxing. And it's getting to the point where like it's affecting my relationships with like my roommates and like myself. And I've been giving in to my compulsions. I've tried so hard not to pick, but I really don't know. I don't know what to do other than tell my therapist. And I really wish I had like a quiet place where I can just do stuff like this and just focus on it. But then there's always background noise. I don't know. The other day I was upset. I was at my ex's house, and I was talking about like when I was a little kid, I would be at my mom's house or at my grandparents' house, and I would just cry and say I wanted to go home. And as a child, I never really understood why I had that feeling that I was never home, even though like I would say I want to go home at my mom's house. Like quietly to myself. And like I've always felt that like I need to go home. I need to go home. Like Willow, get up here now. Come. Kennel. Kennel. That's what I fucking thought. So I control my dog. I'm her trainer. You know, I'm the reason why she's a support dog. But everything she does, if I don't have a problem with, you know, it's fine. But as soon as I have a problem with it, I'm able to tell her to sit her ass down, you know, and just stop. And I'm trying really hard to just go with the flow. And a lot of people tell me, oh, you're just so down to earth. You just go with the flow and blah, blah, blah. When in reality, like, the inside of my head is screaming about 1,000 things. Like, it's 9:01 right now where I am. And we're supposed to have quiet time until 10. And I wrote down these rules and I asked the parents if the rules are okay. And then when they said that the rules were okay and we read them aloud to the kids agreed to it. But one of the rules is like, if you're hungry or thirsty, ask for help. But my nephew, I'm going to call them my niece and nephew. My nephew opened the cereal bag and like spilled a bunch, and I got really like, I don't want to say anxious, because when I'm anxious, I'm like worried and scared. I think it's stress. It makes me feel frustrated, irritated that there was a mess on the ground, even though it could have been helped. And my nephew has no problem asking, hey, can I go on the computer as soon as he hears my alarm? But then he breaks open a bag of cereal. You know, the ones in the bags, the resealable bags. So that was broken, and I had to use 3 Ziploc bags for the bagged cereal that comes in a resealable bag. This isn't the first time I've done this, and I said the next time this happens, I'm going to lock the cereal into a picnic basket, and I'm going to hold the key. So you have to ask to get cereal in the morning. Because there was a mess on the table, and there was a mess on his chair, and there was a mess on the floor. And one of the rules are, if you make a mess, you clean it up. And he got really irritated at that, but he agreed to the rules. And then he stopped in the middle of cleaning, went to his room, and I said, hey, you're not done cleaning. And he said, I hate these rules. And I was like, well, you shouldn't have agreed to them. And he's like, I hate that they're all the time. And I was like, well, we need structure and we need change. And as he was picking stuff up, I was talking about the bagged cereal, and he said sorry. And I'm very skeptical and critical when people say sorry, because I don't want to hear it. I want to see it. And so many times people have like lied to me and said they're going to do one thing and do the other, or they pretend that they care, and then it's back to day one. Please excuse me. Lily, Willow, Kennel. See, the dogs listen. I don't when I see dishes piled up, I get overwhelmed, and that's under anxious and under scared, and I don't know if I'm like anxious. It's more of like a tight feeling. Like, like when you put a string around your finger until it turns blue, that's how my whole body feels when I feel the need to do something. And that something could be clean, organize, do the dishes, FIFO the food in the fridge. And the itch won't be satiated. The thread won't unwind until I finish. But the thing is, once I start on one thing and I notice something else, I have to do everything. And I don't like that. Yesterday or the other day, for example, I'm getting my days mixed up. But anyway, my nephew wanted mac and cheese. And I said, okay, go ask your sister. And she wanted mac and cheese. And I said, okay, he's going to make the mac and cheese. And she's going to stay in her room and watch TV. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So I'm helping him. He's doing everything. He puts the water by himself. He turns on the stove by himself. I just sit in the kitchen to make sure nothing is on fire. And I noticed that the colander is dirty and there's no free sink. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to like wash a few dishes and the strainer so we have a clean sink. And that turned into me organizing the dirty dishes. I ended up washing all of the silverware, and I was washing dishes so much that my nephew was like, he puts the timer on whenever he cooks food. He does everything exactly how the box says. And I'm very proud of him for that. But he was like, hurry up, I only have 1 minute left. And I'm over here organizing dishes and washing all of the dishes when in reality, I could have just shoved everything into the one sink and then just washed the colander. That would have been the effective thing to do. But so that's the type of thing that I'm talking about. And I don't think it's ADHD because I don't feel hyper. It's not that I can't focus on things that need to be done. I just, like, I'm struggling not to give into the compulsions of vacuuming because the vacuum is heavy. Don't sweep as much because I have back problems. Why are you doing dishes at 3:00 in the morning when you know people are asleep? I've never woken them up from doing chores in the middle of the night, but that's the time in which it itches the most. That's the time when the string is tied the tightest, and I have to let go and give in to my compulsions. And outside people don't see a problem with this. What they see is someone who is gung-ho about cleaning, when in reality, it's like, it's energy depriving, it's attention depriving, and it's like I can't breathe until I do the thing. I don't want to be on here too long. Because quiet time ends in an hour, and I don't think it's gonna last for that hour. But back to me micromanaging, because I feel like that's one of the biggest things that's wrong with me because it's affecting other people. Like we made a rule sheet, and next to the rule sheet is a bunch of stickers. Like they have posters where if they get 10 stickers, they get to do something fun. Sorry, I lost the bowl for a second. I feel like I'm the only one who's like, rules, like follow the rules. But with rules comes structure, and with structure comes calm, serene, peaceful. What's the word that I'm looking for? When you have a schedule for days, structure. I appreciate structure a lot, and I try to do things time wise. I have multiple alarms set through the day, and I think in the mornings during quiet times are the times that I should start streaming, because I don't want any pedos looking at my streams and saying, a shirtless child or anything like that. And I do want to make sure that their identities are safe. I don't want to be sad. I really don't want to be sad. I lost it again. I just want my drugs. So, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday or the other day. Once again, I'm getting my days mixed up. But I have to refill this. They put me on 20 milligrams of Prozac. I was on first of all, I was on the maximum dose before I came here in Wisconsin. And then I found a psychiatrist who did a blood test on my liver and kidneys to see what drugs my body can absorb and what drugs are like worse off for my body. And it turns out that the high dose of Prozac that I was on was very dangerous for my body. Thank goodness I had been weaning myself off. Please excuse me while I pop some pills. This morning we have Prozac. We have Prozac, Lyrica, cyclobenzaprine, meloxicam, and Bentyl. Down the hatch. Did y'all see that? My mouth was on it, but it just like spilled. Anyway, about the stupid Prozac. So, excuse me. I was on 40 milligrams, and they were like, well, we're proud of you for weaning yourself off by yourself. It probably wasn't the best thing to do. And I was like, well, I needed to make my pills last, but it turns out it's bad. Prozac is bad for my liver anyway. Like too high of a dose is bad. So I was at 40 milligrams, and I was also taking hydroxyzine in lieu of taking Klonopin. So hydroxyzine and Klonopin were both PRNs, and I would hit the hydroxyzine before I would hit the Klonopin, because I don't know if you guys know this, but Klonopin is a controlled substance. I like to call it baby Xanax. But I had to stop taking hydroxyzine, and they lowered my Prozac to 20 now, to 20 milligrams. I'm sorry, please excuse me. They lowered it to 20 milligrams, and I called my psychiatrist yesterday, and I talked to the nurse, and I was like, okay, I was told that a high dose of Prozac was really bad for my liver and kidneys when I first got here. And now I'm being told that the Prozac is affecting my heart. Like, it might be one of the reasons why I have a prolonged QT. And I mean, I don't know. I care about my organs, but my brain is also an organ. So do I forego the Prozac and focus on my heart health? Or do I just keep taking the Prozac and them having problems trying to figure out what's wrong with me still? Like, we know that I'm having syncopatic episodes. We know that it's more likely related to my heart than my brain. But we don't know necessarily the causes. Like, a lot of people have prolonged QTs and it doesn't affect their daily life. But I don't do well with stress, especially in the morning. Kennel. I I don't know. Like, am I depressed? I don't think so. Room time. Like, Willow, come here. Sit your ass. Sit. So, I don't know. And like, she lives with another dog now. We live with another dog now. I don't know. Like, she can play. I like when she plays, but she's a service dog. And I have problems with like the kids playing with her. Don't touch that. And it's gotten so bad that like the dog has retaliated by trashing the kids' room. So now the kids have to leave their door closed, but they still don't really understand that they need to play with their dog. And my dog is not their dog. Don't discipline my dog. She's a working dog. She needs to be paying attention to me. And I'm trying to find different ways to say things like this without upsetting anyone, and I don't know, like, if I ask to do something, I completely understand. Okay, I don't know anybody named Jim, so I'm going to use Jim as a reference. So if I call up Jim and I'm like, hey, Jim, I need help with moving furniture. Can you help me? And Jim goes, and a little bit. And then I say, do you know when a little bit is? And can you tell me so that I can plan accordingly? And the reason is not because I want Jim to rush. The reason is because I would like to know what time I need to be ready for Jim. And if he's going to take 30 minutes, I have time to do a certain thing. If he's going to take 10 minutes, I can't do that thing. I'll do something else. If he's going to take 2 hours, then I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing or ask somebody else who could possibly help me. Why are you chasing after my dog? Kennel. Lily. Kennel. It's so funny. I don't even have to close the door. They just go in there. They just go in there. This is why I have a dog and not kids. Because a dog is loyal to you. A dog serves a purpose. And when you have a child, you got to have a lot of love and support. Training a dog is not like training a child. I can be as anal as I want to be with my dog. She knows certain commands that I have taught her. But humans are so much different. You know, like I didn't even realize that I was micromanaging my roommate until she said something, and I felt really bad. Really bad. But I didn't 100% understand how I was micromanaging. But you don't make people that you love feel uncomfortable. You don't do it. You don't do it. That should not be your goal. And if you make someone uncomfortable and they have the gall to tell you, if they have the heart and the cojones to tell you, hey, that hurt my feelings. I don't like how you talk to me in a respectful manner. Then like hell yeah, I'm gonna listen. Like, but that being said, I'm going through my second round of DBT therapy. I, have been working on all of these different skills that not a lot of people have. And I swear we should be teaching this in school. Like, see, if I clap my hands, they calm down. If I whistle, a certain whistle will make them come towards me. Another whistle will make them walk in the same vicinity as me. Saying the word kennel will either put them in the kennel or have them sit, lay down, and calm the fuck down. Come here, mere, come means I need my baby's attention. I don't know. And I'm like, they're not my kids, so why am I micromanaging my roommate's kids? That's not fair for anybody, because sometimes I get very stressed when I'm micromanaging. And for my niece, you kind of have to. She's like 5, so she doesn't really get, like, you have to be really specific with her, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the way that I talk to her, it gets me very upset because I am micromanaging and it's not working. And, her mom comes in and like, she's like, let's try a different approach. And inside my head, I'm like, am I traumatizing this child? Like, am I talking to her like I'm trying to help her? Or am I talking to her like how I've been talked to as a child? Because one of those things is extremely appropriate and the other one, not so much. My as a youngin', adults have said pretty nasty things, and those adults have been family members. And if I know how that feels, why would I do that to somebody else? However, hurt people hurt people. I know it has to deal with genes and nurture versus nature and whatnot, but I don't want to indirectly traumatize people that I care about. But it's 9:30 and quiet time doesn't start until 10. And she's screaming names. Can I pause this? Is there any way that I can pause this? Hold on. Is he in there with you? I'm live streaming. One of the reasons why we have quiet time before 10 o'clock is because of live streaming. Live stream. You're screaming your brother's name, and I'm trying to hide your identity. You're yelling loud enough that my computer is picking it up. Why are you locking the door? There's no reason to lock this door. What you guys should be doing right now
instead of screaming at each other and locking each other out and making it difficult for each other to get inside, is pick up this floor. Because I can't walk through this room. Have fun. I don't know if you want to look in there before you push play, but there's everything on the floor and Legos in the fan. Yes. And now they're arguing about who's cleaning up. I'm trying. I call them my niece and nephew. I don't say your guys' name on the internet. I don't say their name on their fucking children. They need to be protected. I'm sorry. I especially with what's going on with Kim, I do not want his information out there. I'm gonna end soon, but be careful with names. That's all I have to say.
Really sorry for leaving. I kind of had the urges again, and I feel like I need to do a chain analysis. Yeah, I need to do a chain analysis, and I might start streaming again tonight. I do have to update my YouTube profile so that my Twitch is on there, because I do go back and forth depending on how I feel. But yeah, I need to call Crisis and do a chain analysis. I need to do I need to do a chain analysis. I need to do a chain analysis. I can't